Hello, welcome. Thanks for joining me. Today I'm sharing a few facts and figures about the DJI Spark, and in this case its use as part of my camera boat setup. In previous videos we see how the bait boat has been converted so that it can carry various cameras. It would have a low speed, high torque electric motor at the rear to support any camera and be able to rotate 360 degrees under radio control. This is to enhance my experience at the lake. I go to a favourite lake for carp fishing and wildlife photography. So this is just another tool in my armoury. In this instance, the DJI Spark, of which I have 3, this DJI Spark is mounted on a home-brewed mount on top of this rotating device at the rear of the boat. Early bath tests show that the boat is capable of supporting the weight of the Spark and the stick of batteries for the 12-volt rotating device. Why would I use a DJI Spark? Why not? The app that comes with it is great for viewing the footage from the camera. And the Wi-Fi is great for receiving this footage on the bank while the boat and Spark are out in the lake. Yes, the Spark is susceptible to water damage, so I will be taking care of it. Here we see it with the props removed, a battery fitted and mounted to the boat. Now these facts and figures that you may not have come across before. With still being in lockdown, my time is filled with preparation for the coming season of carp fishing. So understanding how the camera is going to perform whether there's going to be any drawbacks, what the performance, what the duration. It's all information that'll help me gain the footage I want. Battery duration. As you know, with a DJI Spark setup, you have a battery on the actual drone, which has a limited lifespan while flying, but if we're only using it to power the camera, this lifespan can be extended considerably. There's also a battery in the controller. Again, this battery tends to outlast the batteries in the Spark drone itself, and so it can be overlooked, but it is something to be considered during a day at the lake. Then there's the battery in the device that you're monitoring the Spark with. Now the Spark could be left to its own devices, just saving any video or still footage to the SD card which is on board. And the Spark is brilliant at saving any footage, unless you forget to save it before powering down. It does auto save when the battery's getting low, so that's a nice saving grace. So getting back to the battery duration, it turns out that the DJI Spark records video in 30-minute chunks and then switches off. No big deal, but it's interesting. These 30-minute chunks, large as they are split into two. The way it's saved on the SD card is there's a big file and there's a small file accompanying it. At the end of a 30-minute session of filming, when the Spark beeps and closes the video, stops recording the video is a better explanation. You can simply press record again and record a further 30 minutes. Which leads me on to the figures of how long can you record. Well, the battery had no problem in recording two 30-minute videos plus a 10-minute segment. I'd set the battery level warning to 15%. This is the default lowest setting. I would not advise it if you were flying. I would certainly advise it to be higher if you're flying the Spark. But in this instance, the damage I was concerned with was the cells within the battery. Rather than exhaust it, and actually I may not have been able to exhaust it because, as I say, the default 15% battery level warning has been the lowest value acceptable. May well protect the battery, but that's inconsequential. I got two 30 minutes plus a 10-minute segment from a fully charged battery. Loads of room on a 32 gig SD card, loads of room. So that's not a consideration. The controller, it dropped a little on the battery charge, but nothing to be concerned about, and I think that will last me all day. All that left was the device. On this test I was using an iPad mini version 4, and it went down to 38% from, I think it was a fully charged battery. So that was still okay, but if I was to renew the battery and send the boat and camera and Spark back out into the lake, I'd probably need to top up the iPad mini 4 or use another device. So you may never come across the need to know these figures, but I hope you've enjoyed an insight into these unseen facts and figures. If you're interested in the construction of the camera boat, then I'll leave links in the description for earlier episodes. Join me again soon.